Hey now everybody, welcome to Englit.org. This is Dr. Island, and today we're talking about the English 101 grading policy for spring and summer of 2018. Whether you're in the on-campus class or you're in the online class, your grade is based on some basic factors. If you're in the online class and you go to the grading and assessment section, it'll explain what I'm about to explain, and of course also you can see the various grade categories in your grade section. But for everybody, you can go to Englit.org, and if you're in 101, you can choose the English 101 Distance Education or the English 101 Summer and Winter. It doesn't matter because the grading is the same. It just, for summer and winter, it's just condensed. And then for the on-campus course, you just choose the English 101, and you end up in the same spot, which is you go to the grading policy and assessment, and you will see not only an explanation of what you're going to be doing, but also a description down here of the elements that will be required for getting a grade. Ultimately, you're doing work for me that is all part of that research paper process. And much of your grade is actually about that final research paper, although you have a couple of items that don't quite fit into that, but inform it anyway. Paper 1, which is the first paper, the Sherman-Alexie paper, that paper is worth 20% of your grade. There will be a test during some time, which basically is a timed, written, 5-paragraph essay, either in class or in the testing center, depending on whether you're you're on campus or online, respectively. And then, of course, you also have your participation responses, those short 3-paragraph responses to the things that we read, the things that we either discuss in class or we discuss in the chat room. And you get 5 of those during the semester. I give you more than 5 as possible options, but you can do a maximum of 5 in order to maximize that participation grade. Toward the final paper, however, you have 3 elements that all lead to that particular overall, your overall grade that are a part of that. One of them, of course, is an outline of that final paper, which is worth 10%. And, of course, you're supposed to provide for me an annotated works cited, which is also 10% of your grade. And then, of course, the final paper itself is 25%. Now, understand that when I'm giving you feedback, I'm not just giving you feedback just so you can say, oh, hey, that's interesting. For the first paper, for the annotated works cited, for the outline, and for the participation, I give you one opportunity to fix what I'm telling you to fix, for the opportunity to improve that grade, and then the new grade replaces the old grade. For participation and responses, since they're they're basically pass-fail, if the second time around you still don't get it, basically that one, it becomes no credit, and you have other opportunities to get that grade, because like I said, you have more than 5 opportunities to get a total of 5 done. That's how that particular works. The only thing that is not revisable is the final paper, because you give it to me so late in the semester, plus I have finals, exams, everything like this, that there's no revision. But by the time you get to this final paper, you have done work on the paper 1, you've done an exam, you've done these responses, you've had opportunities to go through the process of writing research material, of writing college-level analysis, of using the literary terms, and by this time you should have a pretty good idea as to what is expected on this paper. Also, one of the responses, of course, is a sample paragraph from that final paper anyway. So, keep that in mind as you go along. When you're doing your work, you are moving toward maximizing your understanding of what's required on that final paper, because it has a very heavy weight on your grade and there's no revision for it. But ultimately, all the things that you do are kind of leading toward that particular goal. All right? As usual, if you have any questions, you can always contact me at englitguideearthling.net. If you're online, you can also talk to me directly during the chat room between 7 and 9 p.m. on Wednesdays. If you're in a classroom, you can just ask me a question in the classroom. In any case, if you have any questions or concerns, hit me up and we'll make things clear. And in the meantime, stay in touch.